but otherwise, we've talked about this stuff before here. Okay, so what is an ecosystem? Alright, so fill out these. If it's in blue, you're gonna write it. Okay, please. Erica? Erica, smile.
We're not
Okay.
Hey, don't use that negativity.
Guys, come back. Okay, so ecosystem is a community of living and non-living organisms that interact together in a system. So go ahead and write those keywords down for me. Okay, ready to move on? Okay, we're gonna watch a video real quick about biomes, okay? There's no notes on this video, so just pay attention, okay? Oh, Devin, we have a nice one.
The word ecosystem is short for ecological systems. An ecosystem is a place where living things, such as goannas, and non-living things, such as rocks, live in a shared environment. An ecosystem can be small as a pond, or as large as an ocean. Scientists talk about general ecosystem types. They call them biomes. A biome is a group of ecosystems that have a similar climate and have a similar plant and animal species. There are a number of different types of biomes, including fresh water, marine, desert, forest, grassland, and tundra. Let's start with fresh water. Fresh water is defined as having a low salt level, usually less than 1%. Places and animals that live in freshwater ecosystems would die if they were placed in water with high levels of salt. There are different types of freshwater areas, including ponds, lakes, rivers, streams, and wetlands. Marine regions cover about 75% of the Earth's surface. Oceans and coral reefs are examples of marine biomes. Marine regions differ from freshwater regions as they have high levels of salt in the water. It's home to billions of species of animals. A desert is an area that receives less than 50 centimetres of rain each year. They're extremely dry places and cover about 1/5 of the Earth's surface. Simpson Desert occupies approximately 176,000 square kilometres of central Australia. Forests cover about 1/3 of the Earth's land area and are made up of many trees. Trees breathe slightly differently from humans and other animals. Trees breathe in carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Humans need oxygen to breathe. That's why it's important that we protect our forests. Grassland ecosystems are land areas that are covered by grasses. Grasslands can be split into two groups: savanna and temperate. Savanna grasslands are always found in warm, hot, or tropical climates. The savannas of northern Australia, including the Kimberley region, are typical of this. Temperate grasslands exist in varied climates, with cold winters and hot summers. Australia's Kangaroo Island and Cradle Mountain in Tasmania are examples of these biomes. The tundra biome is the coldest of all the biomes, like Churchill in Manitoba, Canada. Tundra ecosystems have very low temperatures, are covered in ice, and don't have much rain.
Okay. We kind of covered this last week, so this is kind of like a review. So, biomes are groups of ecosystems that have a similar climate, animals, and plants. So, we talked about, I believe we talked about forest, correct me if I'm wrong, desert, grasslands, and tundra during the last class, or maybe last two classes. Am I right?
I don't know.
Okay.
They had a weekend, but I was gone.
I'm sorry. Well, now we're going to reviewing. So now let's come back. Okay?
Alright.
Okay, TJ? So, TJ, can you give me an example of animals or the type of climate that's found in the desert? Or plants?
Jackrabbit.
Remember those silly pictures with all the big animals?
Oh, yeah, camel.
Camel.
Gila monster.
Oh, spell that.
There's a rat, you could rouse me.
How do you spell Gila monster, guys?
G-H-I-L-L-A.
H-I-L-L-A. Alright, can you tell me a little bit about the climate or what the types of plants you'll find? Guess it's the desert.
What?
Yeah. It's hot,
Low water.
low water, good. Or dry. But what happens at night? Like really, really cold. Okay. Let's go into forest. What kinds of animals can you find in the forest? Mark.
Frogs.
What?
Frogs. Tree frogs.
Frogs. Mark, I want to hear from you.
I don't know. Deer would force. Deer.
Deer? Remember, this is the forest.
Do they?
Well, remember, because it has what? What kind of plants does it have?
Trees.
Yeah. So it has trees.
Snakes.
Yeah, it does have snakes. You can look at your notes from last time too, if that will help. I know y'all filled out notes.
It's hot in there, isn't it?
Can be. Yeah.
Really go to rain or something.
Yep. Gets a lot of rain. What, Hannah?
It'd be wet.
Yeah, wet. Good. Let's go on to grassland. Think of the Lion King. Here.
Fine. Prairie dog.
I can't spell. Can I just write P-Dog?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna write P-Dog. What else?
Bison.
Ooh, bison. I saw them when I went out to Yellowstone. They're really big. Kind of scary.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Buffalo.
Good.
Oh,
Try's writing these down too.
awesome. What else?
Grass.
Grass. Good.
Thanks, TJ.
Good job. Good job, TJ.
Cold.
What?
Cold. I think it's hot. Like mid, like I think it's like middle.
Well, it's gonna depend on where you are.
Yeah. I think so.
So like middle.
So like, if we were in, because they have grasslands in South Dakota. South Dakota, there's nothing there. No offense. If anyone's from there.
Very few trees.
Yeah. So,
I pretty much know the other grass.
so like if,
Dirt.
Yes, but think about, so we're going from one extreme, so we've got like the Lion King, we got like the savannah, right? And it's really, really hot. And then you go to like South Dakota, and it's like, it can be really, really hot in the summer, but it can also be really, really cold at night. Just kind of like the desert. Okay?
It's hot and dead, cold at night.
Yep. All right, and then let's do tundra.
I ain't gonna lie, I forget what tundra is.
Tundra, like, yes. Remember, tundra is,
All the winter.
yeah, like
Polar bears.
polar bears. What else? We talked about other kind of. Good, Hannah.
What about plants? What kind of plants are there? What's that? Pine trees?
Anything else?
Moss.
Moss. Yeah, so like a lot of low shrubs, right? Low shrubs. Chris, I haven't heard from you.
This little white rabbit, what is it called?
Hares. Is that right? Aren't they called?
There's a certain like winter name for that rabbit, I can't remember.
Snow hare. There we go, Chris. Anything else we can think of?
Yeah.
Good. And so as you're writing these, think about how all of these things interact together, right? Oh yeah. Because they all are in the same biome. Okay, that was me trying to be smart. Alright, let's do, I know we didn't go over freshwater last week, but let's try to think about what you'll find in freshwater biomes. Okay?
Fish.
Okay, good.
Seaweed.
I wouldn't
Seagrass. There could be seagrass.
Yeah.
Oh, you like talking on land?
This
Freshwater,
is
like
freshwater.
So in the water, right? Specifically in the water.
Alright.
Okay. Because there's a difference between freshwater and marine.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Tadpoles and frogs.
I can't hear. Sorry.
Wow, they said rocks too.
Yeah.
Did you say rocks, Chris?
Yeah.
we said
Yeah.
rocks.
Oh, okay, then I was right. Woohoo!
Look at that.
What else?
They
Is there
said
beavers
frogs.
in there?
Yeah?
That's a good one. That's awesome.
Tadpoles and frogs.
Beavers.
What else may you find?
What?
So,
Oh,
y'all have, like, freshwater.
Beavers.
What?
Beavers.
What? We already wrote beavers.
Beavers.
Peepers? What is that? You're gonna have to educate me.
Those are big, man. They described it.
There's one in here. Maybe we can look it up later at the end.
You don't know what they are.
Yes, ducks.
Peepers? Oh, come on now. We all know what a peeper is. You hear them all night long.
Oh.
Big grasshoppers?
No.
Those are
cricket.
frogs.
There's a tree frogs.
That's true frogs.
I don't know because
They're frogs that make noise.
I am
Those are
not from
bullfrogs.
your area, so I do not
Yeah,
understand what you are saying to
Yeah,
me.
they
But
got
you can
bullfrogs.
educate me, TJ.
Yeah, there's a frog. A bullfrog, yes. It makes
Okay.
it two different
Guys,
noises
let's bring it
than
back
peeper.
together. Alright, can we move on to marine now and finish
Yes.
this up? What's marine life? What do we find in the ocean, the salt water?
Sharks.
Sharks.
Dolphins, big fishy sharks.
What kind of like grasses? What kind of plants per se. What's that? Seaweed? Yeah, good one.
Coal.
What,
Coal.
yes, I was just about to say.
Yeah, think about the food chain, right? Whoops.
Think about like finding Nico.
And how all of these things interact.
Clownfish.
And then the me.
Clownfish.
Clownfish.
You did not bring mine.
Wait, what did you? Shark bait?
Starfish.
Oh, starfish. Alright, so do you have a pretty good list going for all of our different biomes?
Yep.
Yep, we have a good idea about what's going on in each of these?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, let's keep going then.
Okay, so when I was in here even, we really hit all three of these words, right? Consumer, producer, decomposer. Who can raise their quiet hand and tell me what a consumer is going to be?
Somebody that makes it.
That does what?
Wait, a consumer?
Yeah, so think about it, like plants, animals.
For like something, takes something.
Yeah, because it
Like
can't
energy.
what?
It can't produce
It can't produce its own energy, right? So it has to get its energy or nutrients from something else, usually another animal, a plant, right? Okay, cool. What about producer? What's our producer?
He gives off the energy.
Right? So usually in the form, what is it usually?
It's like the
A
sun.
plant, right? Because it can make its own energy through photosynthesis. Who remembers the chemical formula for photosynthesis?
Not me.
You don't remember? I bet Devin knows.
I bet Mark does.
I don't know.
Oh, come on now.
I don't do good with formulas, okay?
Alright, anyways. Okay, good. And a decomposer will be what?
Something will break down.
It breaks down. So yeah, that's a good example. What did you say, Erica? Or sorry, Morgan. A mushroom. Good. Okay. So some sort of fungi. Okay, so okay, so we can fill these in, right? So consumer organisms that cannot produce their own food. These are animals, right? Producer organisms that can produce their own food through photosynthesis are plants, which you guys told me. And then our decomposers break down decaying matter, and they transfer nutrients back to the soil. So it's just like this big cycle, right? Yeah. You guys really got this down. I really thought one of you would have remembered the formula though, to be really like hitting hard.
You did, but that was a while ago.
You split it. Did you already take your OAA?
Yeah, FT.
The OGT, did it have that on there?
Nope.
Did I? Okay.
Thank you all.
Great. Are we good? Good? Okay. Alright, so this might be a new word for you guys. Biotic. So biotic factors are living or once living organisms in the ecosystem, right? And these are obtained from the biosphere and are capable of reproduction. So what that means are these things are going to be your animals, plants, fungi, birds, living organisms, right? So these are going to encompass your producers, consumers, decomposers, in one category, I guess you could say. Have you guys talked about biotic and abiotic yet?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, so you have a good idea. Ready to move on, different color. Okay. Okay, abiotic is going to be the non-living physical and chemical elements in the ecosystem obtained from the lithosphere, atmosphere, and hydrosphere. So this is going to be like your water, air, soil, the minerals that you find within the ecosystem, the sunlight, right? So that our abiotic and biotic factors are going to interact in our ecosystem.
TJ, put that down.
up for you. So an ecosystem is all about balance, right? You can't have too much of one thing and not enough of the other. It'll just put it off kilter and life won't flourish,
That's
right?
why it's like so bad that they're killing off all the sharks in the ocean. Think about it that way. Because if they kill off all the sharks, that's why they've stopped making so bad, because they're kind of like the top of the food chain. And if they kill off all the sharks, there's going to be too much of all the other animals, or all the other fish, I'm sorry.
And then they're not going to have enough food because the population's growing and they're all going to eat the same food. There's not going to be enough food and those things are going to die. And there's just going to be this crazy off balance, right? So I kind of put an example up here for you too, very simple, right? So if there's too many zebras, there won't be enough shrubs and grass for all of them to eat, right? And then many of the zebras will starve to death and die. With fewer zebras, we would have more shrubs and grass to grow and multiply. So therefore, fewer zebras also means less food for the lions to eat, so the lions would starve to death. With fewer lions, the zebra population would increase again, so it's just this big, would be a big mess, right, if everything was off balance.
It's the circle of life.
Okay? Alright, that's the end of our slideshow for you. Nobody got that? And then I'll pass these out, and Miss Sarah's going to explain to you.
Miss Katie, it's
Miss Minor, sorry.
I don't even know my own name. Alright guys, so we are going to do this really fun task activity. So Miss Kostival is passing out a key for you. Can I see one please? Thank you. So, here's your key. I need you to put your name on it. That's the first thing I need you to do. I gotta know who's answering what.
You know your parent.
You put whatever you would like, just as long as it's your real name. How about that? So you're gonna go around, and on each desk we have put these cards. They have questions on them. A, B, C, or D. You read the question, you put your answer on your answer sheet. They're about ecosystems. It should be a review of what you've learned last week and what we've done today. Okay? Sound good?
And then just so you know, the cards are kind of going this way, right? So you have 1, 2, 3 going this way, and then I think it sneaks back here, and then it kind of goes to the back of the room.
So
And you right there, okay?
let's have one person be at each card.
Oh, I'm right here.
There are 20 cards.
It's like 7 in here. So stagger yourselves, okay? Don't be on top of each other trying to answer questions.
Yeah.
We want to know what you know, not what your buddy knows. So turn the lights on, you guys can get started, okay? And then come back when you're done, sit down, and then we'll go over the answers.
Alright.
Alright?
Thrilling, I
Get
know.
her done.
Let's get started.
Alright, get her done.
Get her done. Thanks, TJ.
You're welcome.
Science and math are on the same blank. A, community, B, population, C, bio, D, an example of a biological part of the ecosystem is blank. Here's the hunts of an animal for food is called A, predator, A, producer, B, prey, C, predator, D, consumer. Prey, C, predator, D, consumer. Right. Let's wait for it.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. That one's a little tricky.
Two forms A of n blank. A, food web, B, double chain, C, consumer, grade, D, food map. Okay.
But you're on the right track. Okay. You are on the right track.
Well, okay, so I couldn't, just give me a second. Alright. In order that feeds on animals that are already dead is called a social one.
We're gonna go over not by
calm down. I'm good.
So I know what they are. There we go. Okay, let's go over these. Okay, question number 1. Which of the following is a producer? Apple tree, earthworm, tiger, and sun. What'd you guys get?
D.
Hey,
What'd you say? D. So which of the following is a producer?
Wait, which
So
one?
think about what's a producer.
First one.
yeah.
So what's a producer though? It could be a plant, right?
Why'd you say D?
Yeah, something that another animal eats.
So what's the answer?
The answer is an apple tree. Okay. So remember we're grading.
Yeah, but right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You won't put a check or say well, right?
If it's right, just leave it alone. If it's wrong, mark it, okay? Okay, ready for number 2? Which of the following is not a decomposer? Earthworm, A. B, fungus. C, bacteria. And D, grass. D. Good.
D.
Okay, ready to move on? Okay, so what does an arrow represent in a food web? This one was kind of hard for some of you. So A, who eats what? B, flow of energy. C, consumer. And D, producer. What do you think?
It says you eat what? I think it's a flow of energy though.
B, flow of
Yeah,
energy.
you do it with.
Right, because the next one, right, the tree
Marked it out.
doesn't eat the question mark, whatever, we said the vulture, right? The tree doesn't eat the thing in the middle. So that's the energy going from the tree to the vulture, and then the vulture, that energy going to the tiger, lion, whatever, right? So it's the flow of energy. Okay, so 4 is, so what would fit in the food chain? And the answer was a sloth, A. So mark that.
Well, that one.
There we go. Well, because the sun would be on the other side of the tree, right? Because that's where it gets its energy. And then leaves, it's a carnivore, it doesn't eat leaves. And then a vulture,
There's one thing on this
we
list
can eat
that
a
is
vulture. Okay.
The trees don't eat vulture.
No, the lions would be vulture. Okay. So number 5. A blank is an organism that makes its own energy by using energy from the sun. Alright, so we said A, consumer, B, carnivore, C, producer, and D, herbivore. What'd you guys put?
C.
C, producer. Perfect.
We get it. Get it.
No, we're going.
Okay, number 6. A consumer that eats only other animals is called blank. C, carnivore, you're right. 6 is C. Okay. Number 7. A consumer that eats only plants is called a blank. Herbivore? Oh. A? For 7? Good. Okay. Number 8. All of the living and non-living things in an area that depend on each other are part of a blank. Habitat, ecosystem, food web, or biome. B, ecosystem.
What's the number on?
8.
7 is A, 8
We did say B, right?
That's the issue.
8 is B. Okay, ready for number 9? Okay. A consumer that eats both animals and plants is called a blank. Herbivore, omnivore, carnivore, and decomposer.
A.
What'd you guys get? Omnivore? Right, so it eats both plants and animals.
Miss Kostival, what number were we
We're on
on?
9.
9.
Well, now we're on 10.
But can you repeat the answer for number 9?
B. B. Yeah.
B.
Okay.
B.
It's a B.
No. Okay, 10. Which of the following is not taken in by a plant for photosynthesis? You guys should know this. A, carbon dioxide. B, water. C, sunlight, and D, oxygen. Oxygen. D. As in dog.
I know.
Okay.
The answer is D.
Number 11.
Is
For number 10, it was D. It's all good. You got it right. Okay. 11. Which gas does a plant release during photosynthesis? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, or helium? Oxygen, yeah. That's how they release oxygen so we can breathe, right? Okay, number 12. A blank is all the animals of the same species in the same area at the same time.
Population.
Population. B. Population for 12. Okay. 13. A blank. Which was that? 12. 12 was B. Am I going too fast? I'm just trying to get through them all so you can get it graded. Okay. Number 13. A blank is all the population in a certain area at the same time. A blank is all the population in a certain area at the same time. A, community, B, population, C, species, and D, ecosystem. 13, what'd you get? A. 13 is A. Okay. 14. Which of the following is an abiotic part of the ecosystem? A, grass, B, tree, C, tiger, and D, rock. D. Anything else?
D.
I got D. 14 is D. Okay. 15. Areas in the world with similar climates, plants, and animals are in the same blank. Community, population, biome, and ecosystem. 15 is C. Okay, 16. An example of a biotic part of an ecosystem is A, rock, B, sand, C, tree, D, water. 16 is C. Okay, 17. An animal that hunts another animal for food is called A, producer, B, prey, C, predator, and D, consumer. C. Oh. I'll grade the rest of them.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. We'll see ya. Can I have your answer sheet? And I want your name on it.
you want these things?